Anna Kendrick was asked for one simple favor, and she couldn't even do that because she still had to throw some shade at Blake Lively at South by Southwest over the weekend. We have Brandon Sklenar, who was also at South by Southwest over the weekend, and he denies that he's supporting Justin Baldoni. Ew, David. And then we have Tamra Judge, who seems to have just quit Real Housewives of Orange County. Lots to get into. Let's dive in. Let's get it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Oh my God! First of all, guys, I know we are on the journey. Ooh, we have Sunflower from Canada. Woo woo. So I know we're on the journey to hit 100K on YouTube, right? As Onijah Robinson said, 100K. We're on that. We're almost there. We're getting there. But the goal was, can we hit 75,000 over the weekend? And we are just under 80,000. Like, you guys are just like, the amount of support that you've been giving me is so incredibly gratifying. Thank you. I think we're 400 away from 80,000, which I'm pretty sure we may be able to hit by the end of today. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe here on YouTube. You can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can watch full episodes of No Filter with Zack Peter on Spotify, on YouTube, and you can listen everywhere else podcasts are available. Renee says, I say by my birthday, 3/22, that you will hit that 100K. I feel it by 3/22. Oh man, that's crazy. That's like, what, 2 weeks away? Less than 2 weeks? That's crazy. I had a good weekend. I wasn't like super on social media over the weekend. I took a family weekend because I've been working nonstop. It was my mother's 50th birthday party that we celebrated on Saturday. So I took a full family weekend. I also binged Kate Hudson's new show on Netflix. The basketball one, I don't remember what it's called. Plain something play. It's on Netflix. It's actually it's cute. It's a really cute show. It was a good binge. Episodes are only half hour. There are 10 episodes, so I binged it, and it was quite lovely. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But thank you guys. I love you. I want to do a quick shout out on Apple Podcasts to read some reviews, and then we'll dive into all the tea to give people a couple more seconds to come into the live stream. If you're streaming this live, we stream live on YouTube Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings. This one comes from Koa Who 66, says hello from Alaska. Oh, or aloha. I didn't know we alohaed in Alaska. Okay, aloha from Alaska. New follower due to the Blake drama. Love your take. How have I not heard you until now? Keep up the great work. Thank you, Koa. We also have Krelar, says, you're a rock star. Thank you. I love this podcast so much. I love the fun energy. I laugh so hard listening to Zack and his fresh takes on changing the perspective or seeing the whole picture. You make me laugh and reflect and listen to things in a different perspective. Thank you. We also have Aurora. Last one I'll shout out this morning. Aurora, great content. Love your takes. Also, I'm intrigued by the Baldoni lawsuit, so I love quick updates about the case. Also, love your political views, and I'm glad that you are true to yourself and don't let the right or left change your opinions and join the podcast. Thank you, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Please keep leaving the reviews. They really do help with the charts. Ratings, reviews, comments, all of it. Okay. What do we want to start with? Anna Kendrick? So we have a lot. I have a lot of clips queued up that we're going to go through today because we had the South by Southwest over the weekend, and Brandon Sklenar was there, Anna Kendrick was there, Blake Lively was there, Justin Baldoni was not there, but he also didn't have any films premiering or anything airing at South by Southwest. And I think right now he's just laying a little low, but so much, specifically with the premiere of Another Simple Favor, which is the sequel to A Simple Favor, the first one with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. And a lot of people were surprised they even did a sequel together because of all the rumors that they didn't get along. Paul Feig, who's the director, has been trying to shut down these rumors for a minute. And even his wife has been like all over the internet, and she's been like defending Blake, and she's doing hashtag, believe Blake. Not really, but she's like, she and Nick Viall are leading the hashtag Blake Lives Matter movement. But Paul Feig who is the director of Another Simple Favor, says that the rumors that Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively don't get along, that those rumors are false. They are not true. He does not want people to believe these rumors. He wants them to believe Blake, right? So on X, Melanie King has been posting about how Blake Lively was reportedly terrified to walk the red carpet and Anna Kendrick doesn't want to work with her ever again. Understandably, right? Understandably, because I mean, there's a lot going on that I would imagine. I mean, she seemed very nervous at SNL, even though Ryan Reynolds was there with her and they made the joke. But like, just when you kind of see her in the videos and stuff at SNL, she just seems a little nervous, right? She seems a little on edge. Understandably, I'm sure she's, a basket of nerves right now, but showed up without Ryan Reynolds, surprisingly, because they tend to go to a lot of these things together. You would think like right now would be the time that he and his wife would be banding together and he would be by her side at her film premiere and not sending her off to these things alone because she's so or she's so traumatized and her family is so traumatized and this has affected her kids, and you would just think that they would stick together and he would be an emotional support for her. Who knows why he wasn't there, but noticeably absent was Ryan Reynolds. Melanie King, like I said, posted on X about her being basket of nerves. Understandable considering everything. But so Paul Feig ended up quote tweeting her, or what did you say? Because now it's not Twitter, it's X. So it's not tweeting, it's not a tweet, but he like quote reposted her and added, dot, 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 you're wrong. He said, you're wrong. And she's just like, what are you talking about? And she clapped back at him, pointing out that there seemed to have been a lot of fake fans, specifically Paul Feig's wife, who was outside waiting to take a selfie with Blake, which is odd because she could have done that backstage. She's, I'm sure, met Blake a number of times before. Like her husband's directing the film. Her husband could get her a selfie if he wanted to get her a selfie, right? That's not very hard to do. That's not very hard to get. But what a coinkydink, she happens to be outside with this small group of fans that was just dying to see Blake Lively, right? I think I'm going to show you. So here's the tweet of that Melanie posted. She said, "Why is the director of Another Simple Favor's wife pretending to be a fan in the crowd waiting for Blake on the carpet to take a selfie? How many PR bots reply to, 'This is normal, internalized misogyny, and why do you care?'" Right? Because a lot of those Blake bots seem to be just like responding with these exact same responses to everything that we happen to post about this case, which is understandable that we're talking about it because it is fascinating and there's a lot to it, right? So if you see in this photo from this tweet, she does share, and there are multiple angles and videos that are circulating online about Laura Feig, Paul Feig's wife, who is very clearly pretend or posing as a fan here. Okay. And then I also want to get into, there was another guy that's making the rounds as well that a lot of people are talking about. And that's this guy. He's wearing this like checkered black and white shirt. Seems to be a taller, larger man. So obviously with a shirt that bright and that loud, or I guess it's not bright, but it is loud because it's very black. It's like a checkered shirt. Like it's a noticeably obvious type pattern. So you're gonna see him if he's in this vicinity with Blake Lively multiple times. And people pointed out they saw him from different angles. He was waiting outside as Blake Lively arrived at South by Southwest, and he was also inside the venue with Blake Lively as well. Now, my friend Donna Bowling, who is the host of Daily Dose of Donna, did some sleuthing and some digging and found out that he's actually he is, I believe, a DV hotline worker. Like he works for some DV awareness organization, and I believe he is affiliated or he's part of this DV awareness organization, which convenient, right? And so I know a lot of people are talking about like this guy, and then they're talking about Laura Feig, Paul's wife. So I want to explain how these things actually work. Okay. Because as someone that comes from a background, as some of you, maybe those of you that are newer don't know, but as many of you that have been with me for some time know that my background is in nonprofit fundraising, specifically celebrity charities. So we would do a number of events. And I will tell you, all of these things are pre-planned, scheduled. It's all very much not a PR op, because that kind of sounds, I mean, yes and no. Like, we would have certain social campaigns that we would have to run to promote the charity, right? So we would make sure that we had certain families lined up. We would, try to vet certain families and their stories to see which stories were going to be the most impactful, so that, we could get a good photo op with the celebrity and the family to use as promotion. That way the talent can share those on social media, or that can be posted on the website, or, and oftentimes the families want to meet them, and it's just like a fun opportunity for them to come and meet different talent that they may be fans of. And so all of these things are orchestrated. So what I think happened in this case, right? Specifically with like this guy in the loud checkered shirt, maybe he is. And also, just to credit this video, Lynette Kershishian, this still is from her TikTok video. But so the group of people that were seen in this area, which is where Paul Feig's wife was, this group of people was likely curated and vetted ahead of time. And they probably knew exactly where Blake Lively's car was going to pull up and exactly where she was going to get out. And they made sure that they had the right fans. They wanted to make sure that there was nobody that was going to be in protest to Blake or make any faces, because there are going to be lots of cameras here, right? Lots of photographers, lots of videographers. As we saw, Colonel Kurtz was photographed at South by Southwest. She had she held up a sign in protest of Blake Lively and in support of Justin Baldoni. Went viral all over the internet. It was on the homepage of Daily Mail. But so these things are all pre-planned. So everybody you see in this little section that Blake Lively just conveniently happens to get off the car and walk right past, she knew that these people were going to be there. She knew that they were going to take selfies with them, right? Especially when in the past we've had, not Blake Lively specifically, but at events you have people, you have like PETA that comes at these, and they would do the flower bombs, and they would throw paint at certain celebrities for wearing fur, red paint to mimic blood. And so to prevent something like that, especially with somebody in a scandal like Blake Lively, every single detail of what we saw of Blake Lively at this event, I'm pretty sure was pre-planned, pre-approved. Blake knew exactly what was going to be happening. I'm sure you usually have a run a show, you have an itinerary that you provide them. And so all of that is a culmination of things that go into planning these types of moments. Paul Feig's wife, like I said, could have very easily gotten a selfie if she said, "Hey, babe, do you mind taking me backstage to get a photo with Blake Lively?" Of course, but she wanted to be there. She wanted to be front and center, probably so that they could, one, guarantee that the people that were there when Blake arrived are supporters and that they were going to embrace her and ask for selfies with her, even though these are people that I'm sure could have gotten selfies with her at any other point in this event, or outside of that. I'm sure they already have selfies of her. But it's interesting that like this is, but it's all fake. I know people are thinking that these are paid actors. They're not paid. I don't think that they're paid actors. I think they're just people that they vetted and guaranteed were going to overwhelmingly look like they were supportive of Blake Lively, so that it looked like she still has fans when she arrives. Paul Feig's wife, though, was very weird. It was a very strange thing to see her there in the selfie line trying to get a selfie with Blake Lively. Like, it just seemed a bit performative. And then Paul Feig's wife has also been going on a bit of a rampage um, online, going off about how, we have to follow the facts and Blake is the victim here, and people need to remember that Blake's the victim, yada, yada, yada. We had a number of these people that are coming out and they're like, yay, pro Blake, we love Blake, blah, blah, blah. Got it. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. But I mean, obviously Laura has a vested interest, right? She has to protect her husband's film. And I'm sure she's had a lovely experience with Blake, right? When Blake, people are saying she's wearing a latex condom dress. It, it was an interesting dress choice. It was vintage inspired, but it was a latex dress. Not my favorite choice, but it also didn't, I don't think she looked bad. Some people were saying, "Oh, look at her hair. It looks like Amber Heard from the court trials," which I don't think that it looks like Amber Heard's hair. It resembles it, 'cause that's what I picked up on when I saw the photos of her at South by Southwest too. But then I went back and looked at Amber Heard's hair from the trial, and it didn't. Oh yeah, people are calling it the boba tea dress because it is latex, so it like has a plastic sort of shine to it. The color is more of like a nude type color, which boba teas are usually more of a nude color. And then the bottom of her dress has a bunch of like large black circles resembling the boba. So it does look like a boba dress. I thought that was funny because a lot of people have noted that. You can't see when she first arrived, she kind of had like a latex covering, like a see-through latex piece over the dress. And then once she got to the carpet, she removed that piece and then it was just the dress. But yeah, his wife seems to be doing too much. She's all up in the comments. Shout out to Elsie Elrich on Instagram. She was posting about the comments. She's on Laura's neck and she's like, I'm seeing your comments. I see you defending Blake. And then she has since deleted all of the comments. She's blocked Elrich on Instagram. So shout out to Elsie, who caught, if you want to see the screenshots of all of the comments that she was responding to people defending Blake, those are up on her Instagram account now. But it's just all very orchestrated. But what I find interesting and what a lot of people are talking about is the Anna Kendrick of it all, right? So on Instagram, I posted there was an interview that Anna Kendrick gave where Variety asked Anna about Blake Lively and asked her, is this, how do you feel the movie has been impacted by everything that's going on in the world? Very broad question, very vague. She could have interpreted a number of different ways. She could have interpreted it politically. She could have interpreted it, with the Blake Lively scandal, which seems to be how she took it. And she's just like, the last year of my life, I did ayahuasca. So the last year of my life is just a complete blur or it's gone. And she's like, but I hear that the movie's fantastic. And then she blows a kiss and walks away. That seemed to have gone viral. I know I had called out Variety because on their Instagram account, they posted this video of them asking Anna Kendrick this question that she seemingly avoids and doesn't want to address, obviously indirectly asking about the Blake Lively legal scandal with Justin Baldoni. And they posted it initially, and they also posted the photo of Colonel Kurtz, who was holding up her sign in protest in support of Justin Baldoni and in protest of Blake Lively, right? They showed that photo and they showed this video. And Variety conveniently removed those videos from their main feed on Instagram, but kept them in their Reels tab. So if you go to their Instagram account, actually, let's just do that so I can show you. Variety. And then we can review it so I can explain to you exactly. This is why you need to watch it on YouTube or watch on Spotify, guys. Okay, let's do screen share. Variety's Instagram. So if you notice here, here's Variety. You can see the Anna Kendrick. You can see one of her interviews here on the main feed, and you can also see this photo of Blake Lively arriving. Oh, there you see the guy with the checkered shirt, which I already showed you a photo of him. But anyway, and then you can see Laura Feig. I believe this is her blonde hair right here from behind. But so you see they have these two from South by Southwest on the main feed. But if you go to the Reels tab, dun, 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 oh, what do you know? Here's Colonel Kurtz. Here's her protest video. And then if we close that, we can also see, oh, here are the Anna Kendrick videos. Here's the one of her. And she says, why? What happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone. So they kept these videos, but very notably didn't want these videos to be found on the main feed. I assume that they kept them so that they can keep growing their engagement. Look at this one already has 1 million. They didn't want to lose that 1 million followers. This one's at 97.7. This one's at 405,000. So it's just interesting that they conveniently removed them from their main tab. Again, so I presume or assume that it was likely because they wanted to keep the engagement. They wanted to keep the numbers, but they didn't want to, they didn't want to keep that as public facing because they wanted to show that they're still supporting Blake Lively and they're, doing this out of, love for Blake Lively and she's the star of the event, right? Well, then we get to what both Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively said about each other at the event, which I have a clip here from Instagram.
It means to be working with Blake again.
Oh, talking about
oh my God! I'm gonna take it.
Come on, get it in selfie mode. Be prepared.
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna?
Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy. Like, okay, this way.
You look beautiful.
You too.
got it.
Henry, how is it reuniting with the ladies?
I mean, it's the best. Dude, Cold Feig, the ladies, what could go wrong?
Okay, so in this clip, you can see and hear Anna Kendrick is asked about what it's like working with Blake Lively again, and Anna Kendrick says, "Oh, and she doesn't really answer the question. And so I'm like, was this supposed to be like a sarcastic dig? Was this supposed to be like a joke? Was she trying to be shady? She's like, "Oh, which answers the question without answering the question. Whereas when Blake gets asked the question, she's just like, amazing. Oh my God. Like they're sisters, they're BFFs, they love each other. But notably, there's no photo of them at this together at this event, right? Whereas on the first run of A Simple Favor, the first film, there were a number of photos of them together at different events, on red carpets for the premiere. So there was a number. I'm sure now, if they continue to do promotion, they'll probably do some promotion. Well, that'll be interesting if we see them do any interviews together moving forward. I mean, I would imagine Blake's probably not going to do a ton of interviews. The interviews will have to be heavily vetted. Anna Kendrick, I'm sure. I don't know. Do you think that she'll end up posing with Blake to kind of shut down these rumors? Paul Feig seems to be very clear that there's no beef between the two of them. There's no issue with them. They also did a panel later that night, and they were all on stage together. And they did take the only photos that they have of them together. They did take some like group cast photos, which okay, fine. Kind of seemed obligatory on Anna Kendrick's part, but I don't know. I go back and forth between these feud rumors and whether or not I believe that these rumors are true or that they're fake. I don't know. I'm torn between whether or not I believe that they are. I kind of feel like how can they not be? Like it seems like their chemistry together, even on stage when they were doing this panel, like Anna Kendrick as Blake Lively was talking, and Blake Lively obviously thinks she's just the funniest thing ever. And so as she's talking, Anna Kendrick kind of is just her body language is so awkward, right? She doesn't seem to really care for Blake Lively. She kind of seems to be annoyed. She keeps playing and touching her hair and, kind of like awkwardly laughs at some of her jokes. And Blake just kind of goes on and kind of just rambles at this event and tries to make some jokes that the audience obviously courtesy laughed at. But no, there's not a single photo of the girls together on the red carpet. There are cast photos. So here's one of them. This is probably the closest we saw them. And you can even see Anna Kendrick's face here with Paul Feig. You have Paul Feig in the middle. You have Blake Lively on his left and Anna Kendrick on his right. And Anna just doesn't seem too thrilled. I mean, not even Blake really seems that thrilled. They're kind of just like, listen, we're here, we're doing the film, we're doing our job. I've heard that they are not fans of each other, that they don't particularly like each other. I've also heard that, and I'm sorry to pop your bubble, I've also heard that Anna Kendrick herself is difficult to work with behind the scenes, and she's not such a darling either. So I think it's like Betty and Joan, right? Joan Crawford and Betty, shit, what's her last name? Why am I blanking? Sorry, I think I'm coming down with the cold, so my brain's a little foggy at the moment. But so their chemistry together, their body language together, like they just kind of don't really seem that close. And I don't think Anna Kendrick really wants to be associated. Betty Davis, yes, thank you. It just doesn't seem like Blake wants anything to really do with Anna Kendrick, Charlotte says Anna's body language while Blake was talking was awesome. Yeah, because she's just kind of like, like kind of like trying to hold herself together, but like she keeps playing with her hair and like kind of looks away and is like obviously awkwardly standing right next to Blake, but there's no like embrace of them. You don't see them hugging each other. You don't see them posing for a photo together. Paul Feig is in the middle of them in each of the photos that I've seen of them together. There's not a ton of interaction with them. There's no, Anna Kendrick, again, could have very easily said something nice about Blake Lively. But the fact that when somebody asked her, what was it like working with Blake again? And she's like, oh, I think that was her way of trying to not answer the question with, giving some sort of answer. But I think if anything, it was like what do they call it? A Freudian slip, where it was like a slip of the tongue, and she didn't mean to like come across as shady, but like the real intent was there in the undertone of what she said. Or are we reading too much into this? Like, I don't know. I keep trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe these rumors are exaggerated, but I really don't think that they are. And I know a number of people that are close to people that worked on the set or have worked with both Anna and Blake specifically on these two films, A Simple Favor and Another Simple Favor, and they apparently don't get along. They work together, they have to work together, but I don't think they're genuinely two women that like each other. I think Blake knows she has to just kind of work with Anna and appease Anna, but I think they're kind of two of a kind, to be honest. From what I heard, Anna's not very pleasant to work with either. So when you have two of them together on set, I can understand that they may clash, right? And Paul Feig and Paul Feig's fangirl wife, they're obviously going to want to protect the film. They're going to want to make sure that people show up to it. Although I don't know if I think if anything, his wife is looking more like an idiot more and more as she continues to just come out and like try to control the narrative of this and be like, everything's fine and believe Blake and she's the victim and all of this. And it's kind of ridiculous from my viewpoint. But so two divas seem exhausting. Yeah. But like, come on, you're gonna have to protect your movie. You're gonna do everything you can. This is like Katie and Ariana at the reunion. Remember when Lala called out Katie and she's like behind Ariana's back? You seem to like, not really, you seem to be frustrated with her, but yet you won't say these things to her face. And Katie's like, well, yeah, I vent. And then Lala's like, well, why don't you actually bring this up? Like, if you're frustrated with her, we're filming a show here, like lean into that and like have this discussion. And then Lala's like, but I get it. You have and I guess Katie shared that with her that like she has a vested interest and she has to make sure something about her, the sandwich shop, was successful. So she's not going to allow any issues that she has with Ariana get in the middle of it. And now we hear rumors, and now that Ariana is really back in LA and wants to be more involved with the sandwich shop, that they're clashing and they're seeing things differently creatively, So I don't know. What's with both of them wearing plunging necklines and accenting their bubbies? They're measuring who's bigger. I don't know. I did notice that, Mary, when I put that photo with Paul Feig up. I was like, wait a minute. They are wearing very similar style dresses, at least up top. The dresses, I mean, Anna's wearing like a really dark dress and Blake has her latex dress, but I did catch that they are wearing similar dresses. Okay, let's get to the Brandon Sklenar, because I didn't even realize he was at South by Southwest until I saw this interview that he did with People. But before we do, I did want to just give some quick love and a quick shout out to this week's sponsors. And that is starting with DoorDash. Dun, 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 dun. Looking for love this spring? Whether you're looking for a spring fling, situationship, or something more serious, it's easier than you think to find love on an app, or at least a lunch you love on the DoorDash app. Whether you're looking for whatever you're looking for, DoorDash and Panera are teaming up to help you find the perfect match. Panera's You Pick Two offerings lets you pair two items like a cup of soup, half a sandwich, half a salad together from the Panera menu with over 800 possible combinations. It's easier to find your one true lunch this week. Steamy soup, refreshing salad, savory sandwiches. Find your perfect pairing now. You pick two, delivered right to you with DoorDash. So you can head on to the DoorDash app, check out the Panera menu, and pick two items. Like I said, half a sandwich, half a salad, soup, cup of soup, delicious. I love Panera, especially with the weather being chilly. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but at least here in LA, it was a little chilly and a little rainy over the last week. So a good soup and salad combo just is like chef's perfection, chef's kiss, right? You can use code TRUELUNCH and score 20% off your Panera You Pick Two order on DoorDash from March 3rd through March 12th. So this is your last chance to cash in these savings, guys. You only have until this Wednesday, March 12th, to cash in the savings with code TRUELUNCH, TRUERL or TRUELUNCH for 20% off your Panera You Pick Two order. Terms do apply. For full terms, go to the Panera store page on DoorDash. Okay, let's talk about Brandon Sklenar, because he seems to be making a bit of a fool of himself. Brandon Sklenar. So last week, remember, there was the thing with the brooch. He wore this brooch at the Vanity Fair watch party for the Oscars. Justin Baldoni also was wearing that same brooch during the premiere of It Ends With Us. Remember when he was in the basement? So Brandon Sklenar wore the same brooch, then posted his photos from the Vanity Fair Oscars party and made a nod to the brooch, called out the brooch, right? So everyone's like, "Oh my God, is he like secretly supporting Justin Baldoni? What's going on? What's the deal with the brooch?" Well, people asked about the brooch at South by Southwest, and this is what he had to say.
Special
Like,
meaning behind that pin you wore last week for the
Yeah,
Oscars?
honestly, no. No. I wish I could say there was. That was a total happenstance. I woke up in the morning and saw an article, and I was like, oh, damn. I had literally had no idea. I had an idea I wanted to wear like a floral brooch of some kind, and that was the color I liked the best. And lo and behold, someone also wore that prior to me wearing it. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, people, for that groundbreaking interview. Interesting that why would he need to secretly support Baldoni? I don't know. It's just interesting because it's very obvious. Every photo of Justin Baldoni that's going around are predominantly from the premiere of It Ends With Us with that pink jacket on and the pink brooch. Like the brooch is very distinct. Now, I can understand how maybe if you saw the brooch isolated, but I also find it weird that Brandon Sklenar is like, well, I wanted to wear something floral. Is that a nod that he was low-key trying to support Blake Lively or trying to make a nod to the movie? Like the floral piece, I can understand how you're like, maybe I didn't notice that it was the same brooch. Because granted, he didn't really see Justin Baldoni at the premiere because Justin Baldoni was in the basement. But Brandon Sklenar, I think it's very obvious that he wanted to wear a floral in direct nod to the film, right? Because Lily Bloom, flower shop, bring your friends, wear your florals, like all of that, like too many pieces together that you obviously wanted to wear some sort of floral to represent this at the Vanity Fair party. Okay. But what a coinkydink that you happen to just have the exact same brooch as Justin Baldoni, and then you post on Instagram and you make a direct nod to the brooch. Kind of strange, right? Kind of strange. It does feel like it's a nod to Baldoni. But also, maybe it was a little too obvious by him leaving that Instagram caption, considering like right now everybody's picking apart every little detail of everything that any of these people in relation to Ryan, Baldoni, or Blake do. So maybe it's possible that it was just kind of a slip because it seemed a little too obvious. I don't know. But the fact that he is coming out so publicly to deny that it was in support of Justin Baldoni tells me he's still Team Blake. And he just doesn't want to say that because he knows that that's the unpopular thing to do. So it's like now I really do feel like it's weird. Like now I remember last week when I was trying to be like, well, maybe we give him some grace. Maybe we give him the benefit of the doubt, blah, blah, blah. He wants to focus on the movie. And I get it. He like jumped the gun too soon and yada, yada, yada. No, it's very clear that Brandon Sklenar is distancing himself from Justin Baldoni by getting called out in this way. And he didn't even say Baldoni's name. He was just like, I didn't realize that someone else happened to have worn that brooch, but there was no secret meaning. He kind of seemed annoyed and like tried to like make it very clear that there was no secret meaning about it. So definitely backpedaling on it if that was the case, and probably doesn't want to upset Blake and Ryan, probably doesn't want to, cause any controversy. It's still not popular to stand by Justin Baldoni, even though I think in the end, Justin will be exonerated. The truth will come to light. I mean, we've already seen so much of Blake's original allegations crumble. It's not looking good for her in the court of public opinion, but not only that, but just legally, it's not looking good for her. So to me, seeing Baldoni or to me, seeing Brandon shade Baldoni and like really try to distance himself he's not trying to distance himself from Blake Lively, right? He's trying to avoid the question so that he doesn't say anything bad. He doesn't want to get in trouble, but he's very clearly trying to distance himself from Justin Baldoni. Tanya said, Blake Lively put in a good word for Brandon to be Batman. Maybe, I don't know. He is with WME. He's scared to be dropped by WME. Yeah, I mean, listen, Ari, that's actually a fair and valid point. that Ari Emanuel, remember on the Freakonomics podcast, very clearly put his foot down and said that he fired Justin Baldoni. Baloney, what's his last name? I don't know how to say it, which also looks bad for you as a businessman that you don't know your own client's name. I mean, obviously, someone like Ari Emanuel is not representing every single client at WME, but when you are a representation of WME, then when you throw shade like that at one of your clients, like that just, it's a bad look for your business, right? Because you were representing this guy. You were representing Wayfair, and for them to throw Baldoni to the side like this and make it seem like they didn't even know who he was makes it seem like WME doesn't really care about all of their clients. So why are you signing people if you don't actually care about them, right? So I can understand how Brandon wants to play his cards right and wants to make sure that, he doesn't get dropped by WME, because we've seen that there is retaliation. Ari Emanuel said he's Team Blake, ride or die. Fired Justin Baldoni. So I think that to me does put people in fear of having any sort of nice things to say or any sort of relation. So it's possible that maybe it was his attempt to, show pay homage to Baldoni or the film or whatever. And then in this case, he obviously couldn't because too many people picked up on it. I don't know. Justin needs to sue for wrongful termination. No, well, he can't sue for wrongful termination because even though Ari Emanuel used the word fired, he didn't technically fire Justin Baldoni. They represented Baldoni. Baldoni was a client, and they have the discretion to drop their client whenever they feel it's appropriate to drop their client, right? So in this case, they dropped him as a client. They didn't really fire him. Or if they did fire him from a project or whatnot, we'll see. What's Paul Feig's new movie? Yes, so there is apparently a new film with Brandon Sklenar, and who's the other one that's in it? A lawyer came on Popcorn Planet and said that the audio leaked is a huge smoking gun to demonstrate damages. Yes, Exley. Well, I talked about that when I had Keith and Stewart on the podcast from Ask Two Lawyers. They were on Friday, and I asked them about that. And I was like, what do you guys think of the audio? And yeah, it's a great way to prove damages because and I would imagine that's part of the reason we don't want that audio getting out there, because it makes it look really bad for Blake and Ryan, because it does prove damages for Baldoni. Doesn't look good, right? Can absolutely prove. Michelle Maroney, he's the one. Michelle and Brandon Sklenar are the two that are starring in Paul Feig's new movie. Or I guess it's not Michelle, even though it's spelled Michele. I think it's McKelly Maroney. That's how the woman, sorry, not a girl, little girl, she's a woman. But the woman that moderated the panel for Another Simple Favor at South by Southwest, she pronounced it as McKelly, which I thought was interesting. So it's McKelly Maroney, not Michelle or Michelle. It's McKelly. McKelly didn't even want to touch Blake at the premiere. No male actors want to work with her. I actually disagree. I think McKelly he wanted to pose with her. He's been a big supporter, an outspoken supporter of Blake Lively. He's one of the few actors that's actually really standing by her, which I'm kind of like, okay. Oh, McKelly's a client of Vision PR. Interesting. That's Leslie Sloan's company. So interesting. But anyway, McKelly's the only one that seemed confidently posing with Blake Lively on the carpet, because he was there taking photos with her after she had first arrived, before the panel at South by Southwest and before the premiere of the film. McKelly, pronounced in Italian, is a man's name. Michelle is the feminine. Michelle is the feminine of Michael. The pretentiousness. He did touch Blake. They were so close. Yeah, he absolutely touched Blake. They were very much close. I disagree with that assessment that he didn't want anything to do with her, because and again, he's been outwardly very supportive of Blake Lively. So that's the Brandon Sklenar of it. That's the Anna and Blake of it. Did we get everything? Yeah, we talked about. I guess I didn't really talk about. Oh no, we did, about how Blake Lively said, it was the best working with Anna again, and it made her so happy to work with Anna, and Anna just said, So again, I don't know if it's actual shade, but there aren't any photos of them together, so it's. I have questions. So yeah, let's get into some Bravo news, shall we? we have Tamra Judge, and we have a James Kennedy update. So Tamra Judge, let's see if she's posted anything new. No. Oh, yes, she did 14 minutes ago. So there were photos that were circulating online that they were filming the new season of Real Housewives of Orange County. All of the cast members appear to be back, minus Alexis Bellino, but we had Gretchen Rossi, who's returning as a friend of this new season. We saw them in New Orleans, Nolans. I don't know how you say it. NOLA. They were in NOLA filming on a cast trip, right? All the ladies were there. They seemed copacetic. They seemed friendly. They seemed in good mood. But Tamra Judge later that evening ended up posting on Instagram, and she said, "It was a long run. When life gives you real problems, this reality shit doesn't make sense. Peace out. I'm out," with the peace hands emoji. Posted that on her Instagram story. And then just this morning posted another photo at the airport. So she seems to be back or heading back from Louisiana back to California. And under it, it says mental health is health. So and then she has the Kelly Clarkson song, Catch My Breath. Catch my breath. Na 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 na. Catch my breath. So it seems like she did quit. I think Taste of Reality on Instagram posted about it, and she commented, yes, that she quit. Obviously, Gretchen Rossi was making a return this season, and she and Tamra Judge have a history together. So, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Weigh in the live chat. And while we do, I want to give a shout out to my other partners this week. First up, I want to give a shout out to Thrive Market because my pantry is now packed with goodies from Thrive Market, and I love that I have it on a repeat. So I get a monthly box from Thrive Market because you know what's crazy? Over 10,000 chemicals have entered the US food supply, yet the EU limits that to just 300 additives. Personally, I don't have time to be going through all the ingredient labels to see what's in my food, which is why I love using Thrive Market. Thrive Market is so easy to find better options without the hassle. One of my favorite favorite features is the Healthy Swap Scanner. It's in the Thrive Market app, and it's super simple. You can scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest cleaner, healthier grocery alternatives. The best part, everything gets delivered to my door, and I get savings on every order. Thrive Market takes the guesswork out of finding safe, healthy food, and all of their products are 100% non-GMO and free from over 1,000 harmful ingredients. And their on-site filters make shopping even easier. Whether you're looking for dye-free snacks, non-toxic cleaning, or high-protein meals that fit your dietary preferences, Thrive Market has you covered in just a few clicks. I'm on that high-protein diet, so I love when they ship me my meat sticks. They have chomps. You know I love chomps. But another thing I love is their smart cart feature because it takes the stress out of replacing junk food. When you create an account, Thrive Market asks all the right questions and automatically builds a grocery cart tailored to your needs, filled with healthier alternatives to your favorite brands. From there, you can adjust, add, remove items, all before checking out. Ready for a junk-free start to 2025? This is your year, right? If you are trying to stay true to those goals, head to thrivemarket.com/nofilter and get 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. That's right. Thrive Market, THRIVE, thrivemarket.com/nofilter. That's thrivemarket.com/nofilter. Also, lastly, I need to give some love to my pals at Pair Eyewear. When you refresh how you see things, the world can be a bit more vibrant, right? Just in time for spring, Pair Eyewear has 3 new colorways for the most iconic acetate-based frames. Take a peek at their new Cozy Honey, Soft Lavender, and Moody Gray frames. And don't forget that you can soften or bolden your look in a snap with the endless collection of top frames. Base frames start at just $60, and your FSA or HSA could also be used to cover prescription eyewear, so check into that. Plus, you get 15% off when you use code NOFILTER at paireyewear.com. They have tons of different collabs that you can choose from. Disney, princesses, Mickey and Friends, the Met, Marvel, Star Wars, NBA if you're a sports fan. They have premium collections. They have the sun tops, sparkles if you like a little shine, a little glimmer. Was that Taylor Swift? Bejeweled? Bejeweled? still make them shine like glitter. So if you want to find your perfect frame from home, you can use the virtual try-on, so you don't even have to go in anywhere, right? And for every purchase, the Eye Alliance provides a pair to a child in need. Prescriptions, including progressive and readers, blue light filtering, and more, are all available, so you can check those out. I have my blue light blockers that I wear every night. You've probably seen them on some of my Instagram stories or here on the podcast as well. You can save without compromising on quality. Base frames start at just $60 and top frames start at $25. Free shipping on U.S. orders, free returns and exchanges within 30 days, no questions asked. Earn points to score dollars off your next purchase with their loyalty program as well. Upgrade how you see the world and how the world sees you. Go to Pair Eyewear and use code NOFILTER for 15% off your first pair. And you can support the show by mentioning No Filter with Zack Peter sent you in their post-checkout survey. That's Pair Eyewear, P-A-I-R, paireyewear.com, code NOFILTER. All right. How are we feeling about Tamra Judge? Okay. I feel like what I think is happening here, I don't want to say this, but also I do kind of, oh, look at Amanda says, where are your glasses today? They're looking fire. I left them, I had them, and then I left them on my bathroom counter, and I started the live stream before I forgot them. I always forget something. That's why I'm always a couple minutes late to the live streams, but they're on my bathroom counter right now. But so yeah, Tamra Judge. So what I think is happening with Tamra is, or what I'm hoping is not the case. I feel like it might be a Meredith Marks situation. You know, Meredith Marks, every time she gets kind of put in the hot seat, it always becomes a, oh, there are bigger problems in the world. There are children that are dying. There are children with cancer. And she kind of gets a little slurry, and then she talks about all the children in the world. And suddenly she's, you know, this big humanitarian. She's like, I have a friend that's dealing with real life stuff, not this drama. And so what I think is happening, Krista Marie says, say it. What I think is happening is that she's going to bring up Teddy and be like, listen, I have to be with my friend. I'm, again, hoping that this is not the case. I know that Gretchen obviously was brought back. Gretchen Rossi was brought back on Housewives to challenge Tamra this season. I kind of have a feeling she's going to be like, I have friends that are dealing with real life stuff, and I can't be a part of this fake BS on the show. I don't want to do this anymore. This is dumb. This drama is dumb. You're just bullying me and you're picking on me, yada, 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 which I know everybody's going to be in a big uproar against, considering how hard she was on Shannon Bedore last year. And Shannon was going through a very tough year following her DUI. And so going to be a little interesting when she can go hard on Shannon and they can bring back Alexis. And listen, Shannon showed up. Erica Jane showed up. Teresa Giudice showed up. Anytime there was a big, I mean, Karen Huger did not, but she's in prison now. But anytime the housewives are put into the hot seat, you either show up or you're done, right? And so Renee said that Tamra just removed Real Housewives of Orange County from her Instagram. So yeah, she posted the selfie of her at the airport. She posted her statement saying she's leaving, and so she's definitely throwing a bit of a tantrum right now. A Tamra tantrum. Listen, I on a personal level like Tamra. Like outside of the show, I mean, she's always been very lovely to me. But like, I don't know. I kind of feel like we're going to get a nod to Teddy, and she probably didn't like the direction. The ladies were probably coming at her really hard the way that she came at Shannon last year. I mean, but Gretchen said that like Tamra's always been on top of people and come at them very hard year after year after year. And so now it just seems that the tables have turned on Tamra, and I don't know. It's just like, maybe she found out Eddie was getting dicked down by some DL. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's like they're coming after Eddie, and that's why she's just like, I'm out. Like, don't ruin my husband's life. Don't ruin our marriage. Don't come for us. Eddie's also very lovely. Like, it's hard when I meet these people and I happen to really like them, and then we have to talk about these things. But it just, I don't know. I mean, that could be it too. We've seen that with Lisa Rinna. Don't you ever talk about my husband. But again, you don't run from the conflict. You lean into it and you get through the season. And you take your beating if it's your season. You know, it's just part of the game. You have highs and lows. Obviously, the fans were really hard on Tamra last year, but I think now she's going to be in the hot seat. And I think Gretchen coming back was definitely part of that. But Tamra did play a role in Alexis's role last season, which was really tough and hard for Shannon Bedore. So you know, it's kind of hard to I don't know. It's kind of hard to be like, I'm done. My mental health is my priority, yada yada yada. When here we are, you know, and I'm pretty sure the autism thing is going to come up when Tamara said that she was on the spectrum. And obviously, I was very vocal about that because I have a brother who is actually on the spectrum. Which, by the way, two of my friends, Jenny McCarthy and Dr. Will Cole, did a podcast together. That was actually really good, and they get pretty uncensored about autism and it was a really good interview. It's called The Art of Being Well with Dr. Will Cole. He and Jenny go, or he and I go back, and Jenny and I go back. Jenny and I have known each other for almost 15 years now. And then Will and I have known each other for several years as well. At least maybe 7 years, I think. So yeah, great interview. That was just a side note, but I was obviously very outspoken when Tamra Judge came out about her autism diagnosis or her on the spectrum diagnosis, and I was just like, this is a joke, and this is, you know, not okay. And because she wasn't official, she wasn't actually diagnosed. It was something that I think her therapist had like mentioned to her, like, maybe you're on the spectrum, kind of sounds like it. And then she came out and she's like, yeah, I'm on the spectrum. So yeah. Oh, Krista Marie says, great podcast, The Art of Being Well. Yes, love Dr. Cole, Dr. Will Cole. So, and I don't know. But so there was that. And then there was James. Okay. Did you guys see the James Kennedy reel? This last thing that we'll touch on. But James Kennedy from Vanderpump Rules posted this photo of him with the Tate brothers. Andrew Tate and what are their names? Andrew Tate and the other Tate. The two, I don't know, the Tate brothers. James Kennedy posted on his Instagram story a selfie with the two of them, and he said, that's a Bitcoin. And he was all like feeling himself. He was feeling himself, right? And so then he seems to have updated it or updated the post, and he commented and he said, I regret posting a photo with the Tate brothers at an event last night. I was unfamiliar with their content and the allegations against them. I only knew them as podcasters and had posted a viral clip about Vanderpump Rules. I have since educated myself. Oh God, I have since educated myself and condemned their beliefs, and sorry to all that I offended. And that was the statement that he posted on his Instagram, probably because he got in trouble. I'm sure an agent, manager, someone called him and they're like, what the hell? Marianne Stout said, who's the Tate brothers? Exactly. That was kind of my take. I've heard of the Tate brothers. Unlike James Kennedy, I actually don't know who the Tate brothers are. I know that they're controversial, but I know them as controversial in the way that I know like Logan Paul to be controversial. But I've heard allegations of trafficking. I don't know much about them deeply. I've heard of allegations of trafficking. I've seen like clips go on around X. I know that there was some foreign issue that they were in trouble for and they were not in the US. And then I guess they recently came back to the US and that was a very controversial thing. Again, don't know much about them at all. However, James Kennedy posted this, okay, posted his statement, posted the photos. I don't know who they are, yada, yada, yada. And then apparently, let me pull up the response from the Tate brothers because they are clapping back and they do not seem to be too thrilled with James Kennedy at all. So this is on Face Reality 16. And they responded. So Tate's updates on X posted, this guy begged the Tate brothers for a picture like a fan just to post this right after. And then they have side by sides of James Kennedy's photo. And then right next to it, they have James Kennedy's statement. And then underneath it, oh, Tristan Tate is, I guess, the other brother. There's Andrew, and I guess Tristan's the name of the other brother. Tristan then responded and wrote, begged and kissed my ass for 30 minutes straight and called me a hero. He knew exactly who I was and what content I made. He's just a pussy who can't handle DMs from woke retards, is I think what it says. It's blurred out though. He says, fuck this guy. Yikes. Like truly, that's a direct quote from him. Those aren't my words. Those are Tristan Tate's words. But so says that, and then thanks to Face Reality, Splash News also posted a series of photos with James Kennedy talking to the Tate brothers, which is interesting. And then there's another slide here that says, what you know about the Tate brothers, social media influencers facing trafficking charges. influencer brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate are charged with trafficking in Romania, arrived in the U.S. after authorities lifted travel restrictions imposed as part of their case. Andrew Tate says the pair are misunderstood and innocent. Interesting. Aren't we all? So that was Andrew Tate, and I guess Tristan is the brother's name. So that's the most of them I know. I maybe vaguely was familiar with them having a podcast or something. Tate brothers are really the worst of the worst of the worst. I don't really know anything about them. So just unlike James Kennedy, but also I know enough about them to know how controversial they are that I wouldn't go out and post a selfie with or take a selfie with them. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Tate brothers. Yeah, let's take a selfie. Like I would even be like, I feel like they're very controversial that I, probably wouldn't approach them and have a conversation with them. Yeah, I guess trafficking charges in Romania is what it said. Yeah, but so it's just James Kennedy posting a photo or taking it. Here's another thing. If you think they're heroes, you like them, whatever, take a photo with them. Fine. But then to post it. And then that stupid statement here, I'll read it to you again. His statement was so stupid. I regret posting a photo with the tape. Like, this is such a PR written, like somebody wrote this for him on his behalf. I regret posting a photo with the Tate brothers at the event last night. I was unfamiliar with their content and the allegations against them. I only know them as podcasters that had posted a viral clip about Vanderpump Rules. But they're saying you called them heroes. I think, again, I know enough about, and if I've seen this clip about their podcast, obviously I would assume you would look into them a bit, maybe go on their Instagram or something. From my understanding, they have like terrible rhetoric. I don't know. Again, not familiar. Couldn't quote them outside of that last post that Tristan made on X. I'm sorry to all that I offended. I have since educated myself and condemned their beliefs. Okay, what a pussy. I will say. They're not controversial. They're rabid and vile. Again, I'm only speaking to what my understanding of them was. I know a lot of people don't like them. What about Mario Lopez? Oh, is he a fan of the Tate brothers too? Wasn't James Kennedy accused of getting violent with women? Yep, he wasn't accused of it. He was arrested for it, Brian. He was arrested for putting his hands on his girlfriend who has since left him. There's nothing good about the Tates. I didn't say that there was. They make Harvey Weinstein look like a puppy. You're like James Kennedy. I'm educating myself here. You guys are educating me. Small dick energy. I get that. I don't even need to know much about them to know that they probably have small dicks because they do have small dick energy. The Tates hate women. They believe they are inferior and they think that they are here to serve men. The Tate brothers are here to serve men. Like they're gay. Like they jerk each other off to serve dudes. Or you're saying women are here to, well, that's gross. The Tate brothers are the definition of toxic masculinity. They're violent. Okay. You're enlightening me. But again, with as little information as I knew about the Tate brothers, would not take a photo with them and post that on, like, James Kennedy's a fucking moron. Like, we knew that before, but it's just like, he's like, I didn't know, Lisa. I didn't know. Oh, don't fire me, Lisa. What a fucking loser. Okay. Speaking of dicks, there was White Lotus episode 4, season 3, episode 4. There was some full frontal. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to look into that. Oh shit. Okay, I do have to head out because I have to go tape Juicy Scoop right now. Nick Vial was on last week, and I have to come clean up that mess. But all right. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Filter with Zach Peter. I love you. I appreciate you. I do have to run because I have to go in studio to see Heather to tape Juicy Scoop. But please continue to subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment. I will do more shout outs on Apple Podcast reviews. So continue to leave them so I can shout you out. I'll do shout outs this week. And yeah, stay tuned. Love you. Appreciate you. I think, let's see, what's our number at right now? Let's check the YouTube subs. We're headed to 1,000. We're on, or 100,000. Okay, we're at 79.7. So I'm almost at 80K. Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you. Okay, we're at 70. No, we're at 79.7. So please keep subscribing. We're so close to 80K. We're about to break 80K. And And then next up is 100K. Like Onijah Robinson said, 100K. When is it? By next week, 100K. Ah, love her. All right. You're saying love you for saying that. Brigitte, right? Brigitte Valentine. Ooh, Brigitte Valentine. Oh. All right. Thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye. Love you. Mean it. Bye.